50 to 577. The founder of Twelve Buddhism, attribute his understanding of Buddhism to Nagarjuna. He is said to have been awakened to the truth by Nagarjuna's statement, "Emptiness is called the middle way." For it is a provisionary name for the fact that all things are causally dependent upon each other. The verse seems to assert that dependent co-arising is synonymous with emptiness and the temporary name of the middle way. Reading this, Hua-yen at once perceived the triple truth, namely, the truth of emptiness, the truth of temporariness, and the truth of mean. For Hua-yen, all things or dharmas are empty because they are produced by causal conditions and hence are devoid of self-nature, but they do have temporary existence, and being empty and temporary is the nature of dharmas and is the mean. These three, emptiness, temporariness, and mean, penetrate one another and are found perfectly harmonized and united. A thing is void but exists temporarily. It is temporary because it is void, and the fact that everything is void and at the same time temporary is the middle truth. One should not consider the three truths as separate but as the perfectly harmonious threefold truth.
According to the Teen-Tai school, the three truths are, in reality, 3 in 1 and 1 in 3. The principle is one, but the way of explanation is threefold, and each of the three truths has the value of all. If we argue from the standpoint of emptiness, we may deny the existence of the temporary in the middle, for we consider emptiness as transcending all. The three would be empty. The same will be the case if we argue from the standpoints of temporariness or mean. So when one is empty, all will be empty, when one is temporary, all will be temporary, when one is middle, all will be middle. They are otherwise called the identical emptiness, identical temporariness, and identical mean, and also the absolute threefold truth. Although Teen-Tai doctrine may not be a correct interpretation of Nagarjuna's teaching, it developed out of Madhyamika thought. Hau-yen Buddhists developed the somewhat similar one-in-all and all-in-one philosophy. Fa-tsang 643-712, the founder of Hau-yen Buddhism, was once a Madhyamika disciple. He seemed to have been fond of the 12 Gate Treatise and wrote a book on it. One of the most important messages in his book is that if one thing is empty, all will be empty. Fa-tsang seemed to have been inspired to an idea of a world in which all things are interwoven in perfect harmony by mutual penetration and mutual identification. According to Fa-tsang and his followers, true Buddhism is not merely a criticism of all views, but should aim at establishing a harmonious whole, having the perfectly enlightened Buddha as the essence at the center. Hua-yen Buddhists made an ontological commitment to the Buddha as infinite, all-pervading, and omnipresent. Everything in the universe, animate and inanimate, performs the work of the Buddha, and inspired by his spiritual influence, even inanimate things lead us to the state of enlightenment.
While Teen-Tai and Hua-yen Buddhists were engaged in establishing certain metaphysical systems, other Buddhists attended to Nagarjuna's criticism of metaphysics. The Madhyamika teaching of emptiness as the rejection of speculative theory seemed to suggest that reason, intellect, or other human effort could not be used to know the mystery of the world or to find true wisdom and obtain nirvana. This laid the foundation for the development of Pure Land Buddhism and the formation of the anti-intellectual, irrational, and unconventional teachings and practices in Chan Buddhism. Pure Land Buddhists hold that one cannot achieve the goal of nirvana by effort, but may attain it by the grace or help of Amida Buddha. According to these Buddhists, Nagarjuna discovered the Buddha's original teaching of the way of faith. Nagarjuna is reported to have said, although there are innumerable ways in the teachings of the Buddha, they can be classified roughly, the difficult way and the easy way. The so-called difficult way is to approach a Vivartika, a state of no return to the delusive world, by the practice of the Eightfold Path or the 6 Paramithas. The easy way teaches us faith in Amida Buddha. Tan Wan, a great Pure Land master in China, held that in the Dafabhumi Vipassasastra Nagarjuna recommended to us, with poor spiritual capacity, the way of faith. Tan Wan claimed to follow Nagarjuna when he distinguished between the teachings of self-power and other power. The first means to be a lamp unto yourself, one achieves personal salvation or enlightenment by oneself. But the second tells us that we are saved by the Buddha's compassion and power, not our own. Although Nagarjuna's teachings bore only a remote relation to the later popular Pure Land doctrine, He was given the great honor by Shinran, the founder of the Shin sect of Pure Land Buddhism in Japan, of being the first patriarch in the transmission of Amida Buddha's Gospel of Pure Grace.
The Madhyamika teaching that all things are devoid of nature, characteristic, and function led other Buddhists to take a nihilistic view. In fact, the Sanluan school and the Cheng school, which holds that nothing exists at all, were sometimes treated as the same sect in China and Japan. The Satyasiddhi, the main text of Cheng nihilism, was studied along with Madhyamika works by many of Kumarajai Va's disciples and other Buddhists. Nagarjuna's criticism of realism gave some stimulus to the acceptance of Cheng Buddhism among Chinese and Japanese monks. It also turned Buddhists to mysticism. Madhyamika emptiness seems to suggest that Dharma or the true state of things has to be known not by discursive reasoning, but through mystical intuition. Mystical Buddhists such as the Chen attributed their understanding of the Buddha's teachings to Nagarjuna and accepted him as their patriarch, one of the most important links in the transmission of Dharma since Sakyamuni. Kobo Daisho, the founder of the Shingon school in Japan, was named after the doctrine of emptiness and called Kukai, which means literally, the empty ocean. In view of its importance in Buddhism, Nagarjuna's thought can well be reckoned as the foundation of Mahayana religion. One cannot adequately comprehend Buddhist teachings and practices without at least indirectly knowing his philosophy.
Senlun App. Roach's To Emptiness. The word Keung, which is the main theme of Nagarjuna's 12 Gate Treatise, seems to have multiple usages and multiple meanings in Chinese Sanluan literature. A variety of implications are well developed in the Chinese master Qiseng's profound meaning of 3 treatises and is the meaning of twofold truth. Both were a result of years of study of Nagarjuna's work, including the 12 Gate Treatise. By itself, the term has no definite meaning, but acquires various meanings on different occasions. It is often used by Sanluan Buddhists to mean the absence of something. Sanluan Buddhists may claim that all things are empty in the sense that things are devoid of definite nature, characteristic and function. As Nagarjuna wrote in the 12 Gate Treatise, all things are empty. Why? Neither created nor non-created things have characteristics. Since they have no characteristics, they are empty.
The term empty is also used to discount and discredit things or concepts. People tend to employ conceptual schemes to describe the nature of things. To say that all things are empty is to suggest that concepts, or categories through which one constructs experience, are unintelligible. In arguing, for example, that the reality of things cannot be explained by the interplay of concepts, such as being and non-being, or existence and non-existence, Nagarjuna claimed, again, all things are empty. Why? Being and non-being are neither obtainable at the same time nor at different times. Empty or emptiness is sometimes used to devalue things, and to designate weakness. Empty things are worthless and should be discarded. As a result, to realize emptiness is to eliminate disaster, the Sanluan master Qiseng said. The essence of the sage's teaching consists in the elimination of disaster. On occasion, to empty one's mind is to change one's mind. Or emptiness is regarded as a medicine for curing the disease of all sentient beings. Emptiness, according to Sanluan masters, is mainly a soteriological device or pedagogic instrument, a tool used to help people obtain enlightenment. The way of emptiness is essentially the way of nirvana, and involves mental, physical, intellectual, and spiritual aspects. Religiously,